So when you are cultivating with more water and all, it's good, but actually plants have that advantage, including the sensory of that oil yielding plants and all. So anyway, good that your study has given me this topic, positive impact of abiotic stresses. We have not worked on it. There is many things to study about this also. When we understand, we are in a safe position. When we understand all the different systems, it is a routine from water storage capacity. We are in a better position here. So that means most of the prediction model associated with the reverse calculation. So that modeling and all, they normally model on the atmospheric variables, climate or climatology. But the soil, especially the water storage, that is a very important factor. Now in organic farming or natural farming, the government of India, they are also working on that. They will look for the deep soil organic matter compound. That is a very important what we call field. Micrograms, carbon is stored in the soil or organic matter. So how to enrich that? So like that, if a plant is able to, or if a plantation or an agricultural system is able to store more water here, normally they will not be affected by the atmospheric stuff. The plants will try to have deeper root system, so they will be able to tap from the system. Just to show that the modeling, how changes in the actual value, that means the prediction based on the atmospheric data and the actual realization is different because this particular factor, the root zone storage, moisture, so that plays a very important role. Yeah, so that's what I said. I don't want to go further. And another point on the flowering. So most of the plants flower early when they are in flower. And most of the plants require injection of during planting. There is a recommendation of irrigation. Don't irrigate mangoes on the foliage. Get that they require condition or similar for that. That is another aspect. Some plants can either condition to make the flowering early or maybe like the same like duration. So we have water plants which is and longer plants which is so this is one aspect. One I said about the primary metabolites, and another is about the time to flowering. So that also is important. And most of the stuff we work to or the flowering time, flowering of the seed. So that's the seed. So most of the stuff. So we know that almost all the stuff like temperature, salinity, or drought. So they all cause that the cell dehydration, cellular dehydration. The response is almost same, higher pH content or high reactive species. So the signals are almost same there. You have some either enhancement in most of the cases, and in some cases that will be delaying flowering, time to flowering. So that is an important aspect. I don't want to go into the details. And like markers, now we have the microRNA. So whether plants are able to remember this, that I said, I told you after 1 week when we come, please remember it. Sometimes you are tired to that. And that we are taking advantage in the planning because we have completed a lot of steps. And they can consider a plant which is grown with full water and just thoroughly is exposed to the side. Proteins are there or maybe the system is not with us. That is true for human also. If a child is nurtured in that land with all the resources which are available, never experienced any stress, any emotional stress or anything if it comes, so they will not be able to stand. That is very important. So different microRNAs are there. They are associated with the system of flowering, the flowering locus or the time to flowering, FTGs. So now we can even identify whether there are plants which are tolerant or something like that. And the color development, the secondary metabolites, all those things are associated with that. The photomorphogenetic response also is changing. Most of the stresses are associated, including the ultraviolet radiation, especially the UV radiation. And we have vanillizing. So certain plants are remembering the low temperature exposure and the whole I have exposed to low temperature. It is remembering that I have been exposed to the low temperature. That it is remembering and flower. That's the thing. Either it can be a protein which we have not yet identified or maybe some regulate all those things. So that means many stresses, abiotic stresses, have a role on regulation of flowering, that means the conversion of vegetation to flowering. So that is another positive role for flowering. Same is the case with the serious stress, the multi-body stress that we are studying today. So the similar we are studying. So when a plant is exposed to stress, has to be complete before the actual stress. All the things are going to take response from it. So most of these things are controlled through specific genes. Ultimately, have the cancer flowering gene. That is by the Della protein associated with the GA or and there are good studies on the circadian rhythm also. So that means most of the stresses will have a role on regulation of their memory. That is adjusted based on the exposure. Today we presented about the linoleic acid and linoleic acid. We know that there is properly the membrane. And by that is a mechanical relation. These compounds are being produced. And there is a breathing plus there is a membrane damage these compounds are produced. And there is a doctor that's the secret. That is the producing more of jasmine acid. Jasmine acid. So it is indirect resistance. So that cross combination is also there associated with it. So I don't want to make it too much. So again, the first point was the stress will have a diversion from primary metabolite to secondary. Second was it will adjust the timing, that means when to flower, either to flower early or to flower delay. So that was there. And the third was the association with the secondary metabolite, which stays and everything. And that is with the time to flower. So that is very important. And the fifth point is there is an association or there is a conditioning on the non-flipping. Like whether it has to be complicated more. You know, different plants and legal plants are found differently. Carbon dioxide. What is the like we know city plants normally most of the plants are around 95% of the species are. So they have to respond positively with the carbon dioxide. Why is they not getting that? Most of the transportation application of sugars because that's materials are preferring their route is slightly low. So when an associated increase in temperature with the high CO2, then is the transport. That is most of the stress will have a lactose relationship. It will alter the storage of synthesized material. And the sugar transporters are affected through the stress. And the people have tried many genes which are associated with the progression of the specific and their big role on be deficient. Right? Increase the production of soluble sugars and other things. So that means we will be able to condition this sourcing relationship when there is a stress. So that is another thing. And this, of course, in the medical industry, which I said, so they will be able to use it. So when medicinal plants are collected from their natural habitat and from a controlled or with a facilitated system, the components will be different. You will be able to see a control and process the plants where the very important compounds like mushrooms are put so they are produced at a higher content level. So that means the quantity of secondary metabolites, either it's phenolics or terpenes or anything, so that can be increased under stress. So that is another positive aspect which we have seen. And it is true with the case of other oil yielding plants also. The essential oil will be and most of the crops, I don't want to list them all. I just want to tell that there is an option. Even tulsi, I think that plant will be very common here. Tulsi which is grown under stress and will be irrigated, the smell will be different when you are touching that plant. So the essential oils which are produced in that plant will be different. And this is what we discussed. So there is a shift from the primary metabolites to secondary metabolites. So that will be there. And the stress, whether it is drought or even the salinity, all those variations will be there. Can be the understanding of compounds, etc. That is there. I'll have a question. When I studied MSc, I think they told us the acetic acid, from where it was first identified, any idea? Like IA from human urine, basically, outcome. Cytokinin from autoclave herring from DNA. Ethylene also, you know that. No. Okay, that means I want to say that acetic acid was detected in rat brain. We never expect that. No. Acetic acid is a plant hormone, and when it is consumed, it has to be digested inside. But it was detected in rat brain. What will happen to the stress hormones or stress compounds which are produced high, like including your melatonin? What is its effect on the human being? We need to understand that. Like most of these plants, secondary metabolites or compounds have a similar effect in the human being. That also some compounds also about cells and other things. That limits the hormone. That is very often linked with melatonin, whether it is having some other role with all these things. So this is just to say that color parameters, when they stress is more, so anthocyanins or other carotenoids, the pigments, so pigments will be increased. And when it is improved, like when you want to have more production of these things, so last one you can see the total carotenoids. So if it is cultivation or the cell culture, so now the industry, like plants can be used as an industry. So cell cultures and all, you can use this so that there will be more production of these particular compounds. So whether pigments, plant pigments, now it is having a good market. That is true with most of the chemicals. And the mineral composition also. Maybe in CO2 enrichment studies also, we know that there will be dilution effects. So they will produce more carbohydrate, but the essential nutrients will be less. Now you can see stress will have a role on the redistribution of these. In the case of polyphenolic compounds, so most of them are important metabolites. We have already seen, so I don't want to discuss more on that. So this is the point. And whatever be the stress, that's what we discussed about drought stress, salinity stress, or ultraviolet stress, or including heavy metal stress. So there is an increase in this redistribution of materials. Light also, because light is a stress, because in Kerala, we know most of the crops, plantation crops. So that means the light available below that crop, it will be very less. The shade is a problem, low light. So, you know, the behavior of plants under low light and high light. Plants in the color. So where the chlorophyll will be more, plant is exposed to high light intensity or low light. I like, no, light area have to become very important. So normally the plants will appear more green when it is in the low light situation, shaded situation. So leaf expansion will be different, as you said. If it is low light, there will be more elongation. But if it is high light, the thickness will be more. The thickness, leaf thickness is affected. So ultraviolet also is very important, especially the radiation to the temperature. So all these stress, whatever I want to discuss, I don't want to take more time. So there is some role in the redistribution of all these things. So the message is, as your HOD said, there is an option of stress, because normally we deal stress as a stress only. I can take that job as, if I am doing that without my involvement, that is right? Any number of hours. If I am taking as a balance, I am about nothing. I am taking that as a stress. And and we have to burn that and how we know that creates a common class syndrome. Let us manage exposed to the only one cell. How we will be able to manage any other. If it exposed to bad cell, there is a common class syndrome. Now I think it's open for discussion. If you have any questions, I can. Yeah. So plants will try to manage the competition, especially as a low light stress, by putting more on the vegetative growth only. Say, for example, cassava is a good example. So they are actually, we will not be able to get more tubers if they are closely planted or if there is less light, but it grows tall. So it is a phytochrome mediated, about shade response. So competition, before there is a actual restriction of resources in the like soil, either in water or in nutrients, but the plant is getting a different signal from its nearby fellows. That signal will make them to allocate more on the shoot system. So we will not be able to get a reproductive organs in a normal phase. That's a special system. That is a negative impact, because they will not be able to, like as we discussed about the translocation. Because as she was telling, like our objective is to have more of what do you call that, metabolites or the compounds yield. So there will be a significant reduction in the yield. Plants will grow lanky only, more moisture content, elongation. They will not be able to face stress, any stress. So that is a effect. Like so some stress is required anyway. Should be sublethal. Like plants only are asking, no, not with. Because stress, as we said, like there is no option to go away from it, right? I worked in Bihar, so there actually when we were traveling, I used to see so much of area is available, especially they will take only one crop, rainfed rice or Isa and Bihar. So rest of the area is there. So if she was telling, like any crop which can come up in that land, it is really a wonderful system. So that means utilizing that stress, maybe a medicinal plant or anything immediately after rain with the residual moisture, if it grows, produce some tubers there inside and they shoot. If it dies, then there is no problem because tuber only is our economically important part. So something like that. If it is a tuber, sometimes plants will be able to divert more biomass to the tuber because it has to save the energy. So that type of a cropping pattern shift, I think there is an option.
And another is like low light. If some medicinal plants and all, no, they may not require high light intensity, so you can accommodate that type of plants, especially in Kerala style. Um, Maybe melatonin like things which can condition at least seed treatment, as you said, early duration stress, if it can give, that's an important factor, no? Because it will establish somewhere in the initial stage with the residual moisture or something. So initial stage, if it is surviving, then it will be able to manage somehow by diverting to secondary metabolites or something. But if in the case of initial system establishment itself is inhibited, then there is no survival. So that conditioning, that means that physiological manipulation is very important. We need to know the actual physiology of plant. Then only. Recently, when I visited Kashmir, this uh, that flower, no, like you will be seeing that yeah, fallow land it will be, but they will be getting millions of rupees from that fallow land. Okay, that kind it comes, and that's the advantage. Yeah, no saffron, saffron. So it is below ground. It is there. So only when that climate comes, it just come out, and you will get money. The rest is there below the soil. So like which we discussed. So if you have more of rhizosphere moisture, so that's why in different forest systems and all it will be different. A deeper root zone, that is fine. So now we are engineering or we are making plants with the deeper root system. Two advantage, both for the climate neutral. Now we are discussing about the carbon neutral agriculture. So we have to manage like that. You fix more carbon and fix it deeper to the soil. So that is a very wonderful achievement. That is an option. Two ways. One is this way, and another is associated water enrichment is there, and soil organic matter, if it is more biology, so more microorganism, they will put more ceterophores or any other chelating compounds. They will get more like minerals for the plants, so plant growth will be more. That is the advantage. So that type of some situation-based management is required. Exactly, exactly. Maybe as suggested, like in salinity, okay, we will be able to suggest, okay, this plant will be useful, which can be used for maybe biofuel or bioethanol or something. So that type of conditioning or thinking is required. And I think physiologists should be able to involve themselves more into modeling also. So that also is an option, because maybe with some aerial data or the satellite data, we will be able to identify the locations where which are kept fallow or maybe stressed. And we'll be able to identify some crops we can try there. And if it comes up well, that's an area like that much of carbon is requested in that area, and we'll be able to get either primary or secondary metabolites. So whatever we get, it is fine. That much is fixed carbon. So even coastal areas and all, yeah, exactly. That's what Israel is a very important. Now they are managing that drip and all. They are taking clay balls from Gujarat, clay balls. Manage the soil. Because clay, cation exchange capacity is increased with the CEC, clay. Water holding capacity is also increased. So they will put that. So that means that management is very important. We never like how you manage the water holding capacity of soil. We will not recommend or we will not teach the students you apply clay and then modify it. No, we will tell them you apply organic matter and then modify it. That's what we normally recommend. But in their case, it is more sandy. So this is the option. Dried clay balls, they will take it like chocolates. So that will be kept in each spot. Fine. So situation based, need based. So then it becomes commercial. Agriculture is commercial. So naturally they will produce more. Demand is high. They will take it. Saline water, they will use it. And if we are irrigating saline water and if there is no problem with the plant, that is a wonderful achievement. But we are taking like a lot of energy, especially electricity, to remove the salinity from that, less salts, either RO or filtration, and then take that water for irrigation and other things. So because we are afraid of that. You condition the plant to face the stress. I think that is the option. Yeah, anyway, many things to do. Anyway, they are all stressed, I know. Sitting continuously for 2 hours, I don't know. Yeah, of course. Again, there is an option. That's the message I want to say. Like some green light is there here and there. So think of it exploring. So whenever you are stressed, in Telugu, anybody is from Andhra? Good. So they used to say, Shadagodi Prasnalu, but Sahasragodi Uttaralu. Do you know that? Yeah. Shadagodi Prasnalu. There are 100 crores of issues are there, but you have 1,000 crores of solutions. So think always in that line. There will be always choices. Yeah. Maybe like, no, maybe we don't know that I will be here, but in between the connections, routes and all may be going, that we don't know. Because that nobody knows. Because when we studied about the stabilized system, we know that trees and all, they will have deeper root systems. They will absorb water, but surface water is high. So they absorb the water, they will release to the surface soil so that other plants can go there. Because yeah, through the communication that plant. So we don't know. We communicate. But many things we don't know. Actually, even now we don't know whether plants are able to produce antibodies. We don't know whether they have pain, have music and all. I used to wonder, like, why when we go to Mars or some other planet, why they look for water? Because they are not to find out inside. We have no time. We are getting oxygen from that or some other gas, right? We don't nothing with oxygen and all. That is our concern. That is oxygen. Oxygen is not a technology. Degree, like we are all good in farming of science, not big technology. Farming now is done by engineering scientists. They have the technology, they don't have the science. They don't know farming. Then college students able to tell everyone how to detect that we create wrong, only the they don't know what to do and how it affects the factor. You can study about the how that affects the but that integrated in the system. We all need to understand it. That's a very common step. What will be the difference? 95% biomass comes from carbon dioxide. To manage that, somehow from to see that we lead a concept. And the environment is also. And if the farmer comes to that problem. You need to understand the continuity story. Whether some can be drawn to the end, we need to we also mentioned that related to not to engineering from the going back then, there is only the form.
On the outset, I would like to thank Dr. Rai Stephen, who has come over here from Kerala to handle the YOC and given the guest lecture on different perspective. That is, stress is good. We all know that stress is good, right? And our performance improved whenever there is stress. And plans, stress is important in terms of induction of tolerance, all that. Now he has given a different perspective. People can think about it. Sir, I really wholeheartedly thank for the different perspective of stress is positive. And I thank wholeheartedly Director Crop Management, Dean SPGS, who attended this YYC. And I also thank PG, Person Head and PG Coordinator and our student friends participating. Thank you very much.